Roddy Rich went on Clubhouse the other day to defend his Crippin'.
I need that bottle of water.
Let me tell you.
I had Wack at my studio today and talked to him about this.
Oh, you interviewed him?
No, I just he brought Blueface through.
Well, so this was interesting to me because Roddy Rich, one thing I've always kind of noticed about him is that pretty much since he blew up, he doesn't really talk about, he'll talk about whatever in his music, but he doesn't really get into specifics. He doesn't really like say specific things I've noticed about gang stuff. And I always kind of thought that was interesting because his older videos, he's in the hood and everything. And then, at some point he just kind of decided not to be doing that, I guess. And it was pretty interesting listening to the Clubhouse call because you kind of get a window into his thought process on that. He said that like the higher ups at Atlantic basically touched in with him and said, you need to stop shooting all your videos in Compton because I don't know what the fuck they knew that he didn't know about this shit getting hot or whatever. But that was really interesting. And let me tell you, I just really liked the way he stood on his shit and was not trying to hear nothing about him being a fake Crip or whatever this other dude was trying to say.
You want to know what's crazy? What? The other dude, he was here a couple of weeks ago.
Stop.
I introduced you to him.
Which one? You gotta. I didn't even like actually see what he looked like. I'm just listening to his voice. That's crazy.
And I'm gonna keep it all the way 100, right? Mm-hmm. On some real Compton shit. Yael, that's my guy. Been my guy. I did my second song with the nigga. That's the nigga that was saying that Roddy was false claiming and shit like that. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Roddy, been fucking with Roddy a long time. Got a lot of respect for Roddy as well. They from the same hood and shit like that, right? This is where the line is drawn.
So he's from the same exact neighborhood as Roddy Rich.
He's a real one.
Okay,
he's a real one.
But I just want to make sure they're from the same.
He's really from over there. He's a real one. He's
and
a
was
little
that
older.
his boy? Was that like his close friend?
No.
Early in Roddy's career?
No.
Okay.
But this is where the line is drawn because I've seen it on both sides of the spectrum. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I haven't had nowhere near the musical success as Roddy Rich, and I've seen how my own homeboys will treat you. You know what I'm saying? Anybody, if you have a local buzz, all the way. Just imagine hitting the #1 on the fucking charts. Like that's a whole nother.
He's not like a successful street rapper. He's a superstar.
He's a fucking superstar. But it's just fucked up that like when you get to that certain level, people feel like really entitled to everything. You know what I'm saying? Like even like my own homeboys, them niggas will ask for shit all day. Bro, you got this, you could do this, you could do this, you could do this. Like everybody goes to that shit. And even though like Yael feels a certain way that he feels, like I'm not mad at Roddy for not being around and not doing like this is a nigga who is a superstar. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing is if like the nigga was in his hood every day, if he was to get killed,
everybody was saying, everybody
was saying
there?
You was stupid as hell from doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like niggas be quick to like pull the card like, oh, you don't come around here, you don't come around here. But it's like I'm a trophy, my nigga. If somebody clips my fucking wings, it's I lose. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, but can you contextualize what the 30-second put on or whatever was? So basically, he's saying that he just literally didn't get beat in.
He said he didn't
adequately.
Basically, he didn't get put. He basically saying that he don't take the 3 seconds that he got to put on as a put on. But if you got out there to get put on the hood and niggas courted you in, no matter how long that shit took,
right?
Nigga, you did what you had to do to get put on the hood.
How long is this supposed to take?
It depends. Like different hoods got different shit. Where I come from, you get 27 seconds.
Oh, so even 30 is kind of a lot.
But that's what I'm just saying. But there's different. But I've seen other niggas, like everybody don't get put on. Some niggas walk on.
From what I've seen on the internet, like a minute, even 2 minutes seees like a fucking eternity to be getting the shit beat out of you, right?
Yeah. But the problem with the situation is this, like, you know what I mean? There's a disconnect. And I feel like Yael, he's from a different generation. You know what I'm saying? So while he's over here, he was out doing this thing when Roddy was around, basically in the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? And fucking with the younger niggas. Because Roddy is like fucking
23, you said, right?
He's 23. Yael got to be at least like.
Damn, he's still only 23. That's fucking crazy.
Yael got to be like a little older than me or older than me.
I mean, probably
You know
the
what I'm
thing.
saying?
I think everybody was probably thinking the same thing I was thinking was just like, isn't the time in which you get to complain about somebody not being adequately gangster enough, isn't the time to point that out maybe like when they're still on the corner and not once they've made $20 million? But just like this has to be the last thing on Roddy Rich's mind is like justifying his street cred. Probably like at this point in his life, he's not planning on having to really like utilize that so much, right?
And bro, like even like right now, I'm not going to my fucking hood for what?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm welcome. I could do that, but I fuck with my homeboys. I bring them to me, and you know what I'm saying? My areas and the shit that I do and shit like that. Like I'm not gonna be dumb. What I'm gonna do? I'm gonna hang around the hood. The word's gonna get around. Hey, Roddy Rich is in the hood right now and stuff like that. You got a million motherfucking haters out here. You're going to get your wings clipped.
Well, you have a million people who are going to want to take selfies with you, smoke a blunt with you, etc. So that you have that. And if you have a million people who want to just kick it with you and take a selfie, then you easily got 10,000 people who are fucking deranged and want to hurt you or do something
when
shitty.
you gangbang, you got ops.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you are the biggest op from your hood. You are the trophy. When you become that trophy, niggas would love to clip your fucking wings. You know what I'm saying? To get that score and shit like that. And like he said, if a nigga he made $20 million in a year, ain't no reason why you should be sitting there hanging on the block.
He's too valuable.
You too valuable. And you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Yael. You know what I mean? Like, I understand his frustrations with it because he's somebody else who does music. And you know what I'm saying? Going through a lot of the same people that Roddy went through to try to, you know what I'm saying, help him get on because he's fucking talented. You know what I'm saying? He's fucking talented. He's trying to do that shit too, so he's like, damn, this nigga over here, y'all giving him all the fucking praise and shit like that, and he feels like he's been over there, he's been putting in the work for a long period of time and shit like that. But, you know, when it comes down to it, that ain't how life works. You know what I'm saying? It ain't nobody's faults or reasoning when it comes down to that. It's like, my nigga, he got picked, you know what I'm saying? They homies, y'all homies is supporting the nigga. Y'all did that shit. Like, it's when he's doing all of his earlier work, it's not fair to let him be around and do certain stuff, and then when he gets to a certain plateau, to try to discredit him and shit like that. Like, that ain't cool.
I just really felt like I learned a little bit about Roddy's character from just hearing the way that he responded to that, and just like he clearly realizes the position that he's in, and he's clearly not concerned with like justifying how gangster he is.
But
and
I don't
doesn't
think Roddy should have spoke on it. Not
But
at all.
a lot of people said that about me going on the Whack 100 Clubhouse.
That
you
was
don't-
hilarious.
But you don't gangbang. These
No,
are two niggas from the same hood. They
you're
supposed to keep that shit off the internet. You know what I'm
the
saying?
scenes, right.
So even though Roddy was defending himself, I just wish, you know what I'm saying, y'all didn't do that on Clubhouse, and them niggas, you know what I'm saying, if they had any grievances, they could have talked in person, met up, and did that, because that make the whole hood look bad at the end of the
But
day.
I thought it was cool because you haven't really seen Roddy jump into the fucking
Right.
tumbleweeds and actually
it was a
get
human
involved
moment.
with this shit. You know, yeah, it showed me.
It's a human moment.
Yeah.
Everybody,
When you have somebody being questioned, having their credibility put up for dissection, then you really get to kind of see a lot more about like what a person's really like. Like in that moment, I just felt like I learned a lot about how he carries
But
himself.
who cares now, bro? Like, if AD cared about being known as the most crazy hoodest person, bro, I'll be doing this shit all fucking day. Like, who gives a fuck, bro? Like, niggas got kids, families, niggas is taking care of all type of shit, bro. Like, the same nigga that I am today, I am not the same nigga I was 5-6 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't make no sense. Like, I'm gonna be what? I want to impress grown ass, broke ass men. Like, is that what we doing? Like, no, I don't want to do that. I want to impress somebody. I want to impress people like Arby's and the corporations, give a nigga a fucking bag. You know what I'm saying? Let's get to the motherfucking check. Because if you really in the streets and you really know about the streets, you know what come with this shit. And when you have an opportunity to get away from that shit, get the fuck away from that shit.
You don't want to be bridging the gap between Arby's and Roddy Rich, though,
Wow.
because when they start looking at him, they might forget that they were thinking about sponsoring AED. They're like, oh, he had a #1 hit. I don't know. We're thinking about giving Roddy Rich the Arby's deal.
And I wouldn't be mad. I'd just be like, hey, man, just give me like a lifetime supply of beef
Give me my
cheddars.
little $60 gift
Just
card,
give me my
Roddy.
gift card. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, what do you think in general? Like, because I feel like on Clubhouse, there's so much gang shit that gets talked about now.
I hate Clubhouse. I'm gonna keep it real with you.
It's like a lot. Like, I almost feel like I went on with when you were on and realized that there was a whole room of people who did not understand Caucasian humor.
I'm in there with Benzino, fucking Corey Gunn, all these people that I'm like, this is really what y'all are doing on like a Wednesday night. You guys
Right.
are just tapped in on Clubhouse. Like, you guys are all people who are notable and distinguished, you could be doing something, making some money, and you've chosen to spend your night on Clubhouse.
But just the gang shit on Clubhouse, it's like a thing.
That's what I don't like. Like Clubhouse started, it was supposed to be like exclusive for A&Rs and like music industry people to talk amongst each other and shit. And it's like now it's nothing but street nigga. And then this is the fucked up part about it. You say shit on Clubhouse, like even when Adam was on there, right? Soon as we get off Clubhouse, that shit's on YouTube.
It's screenshotted on YouTube right away.
Streaming it to YouTube while you're having the conversation.
And like as real street niggas, man, grown ass men shouldn't be on the app yelling at each other, talking about what they gonna do to each other and shit like that. That shit lame as fuck.
You know what I feel like I realized through being on Clubhouse is that somebody like Wack, you know, he was really like in the streets as a young man in the 80s, whatever.
Yeah.
He was in prison for a long time. When you're in those environments, what do? Like, how do you kill the time? You sit around with your fucking friends and you talk about your other friends or the people that you know, and you have these sort of like home, down to earth conversations about the people that you know. And that's what I got from being on Clubhouse. Is it's just like somebody like Wack. I think he likes the idea of just being with the guys, having a conversation about shit, and it's you know, it's not like they're necessarily. It doesn't feel to them like they're making content. You know, it's different than a podcast.
I think Wax also kind of like wrapped his head around the fact that he's also kind of not like he's an entertainer now as well.
Well,
like,
now because the podcast.
Wax like Vince McMahon. Right
I hope
now.
he takes all this energy that he's putting into Clubhouse and funnels it into his podcast.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
every night when Wack is sitting there talking on Clubhouse for 4 hours, that could be 4 hours of podcast content
or
for him.
streaming
you know?
on YouTube or
But-
Twitch
YouTube,
or
yeah.
something.
But if you look at the context of it, the guy that he does it with the most is going to be his podcast host, and I feel like he's just warming them up to get them ready for what they about to experience on there because they got that room and everybody knows that room. Like, okay, Wax is going to be in here, and this is where they're going to bring people. These are the type of topics and shit. So it damn near is a podcast already. They're just going to put it on the platform.
Chromaz was trying to get me to go in some Toronto fucking Clubhouse room the other night, and it was after I finished my full day at work. I'm like, so you're asking me to do my job for free all night? Hell fucking no. That's the last thing I want to do is sit around and just talk about myself.
And it's too unpredictable, bro. Like everybody got a fucking opinion on that motherfucker. Like the only reason I went on there was because you was on there. Like, because early on I said, man, this shit about to get out of hand. Somebody's gonna say something on here that's gonna get somebody hurt. You don't need to be on the apps like that if that's the case.